Marriage in Real Life with your hosts, Eric and Patsy Richards. Marriage in Real Life is a podcast about two imperfect people with an imperfect marriage. This podcast aims to help listeners to know that God, who is perfect, can use your imperfections and your imperfect marriage to help others. So let's laugh and learn. I hope you enjoy the episode. Let's get straight into it.
Welcome to Marriage in Real Life. All right. Hey, we're so glad that you could join us this evening. We're back. All right. Well, as we normally do, we like to start out with what happened in the last 2 weeks since we've been here. What happened, babe? What happened?
Well, we did celebrate my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Let's give an applause for that. Yes, happy birthday. Do you mind saying how old you are?
Absolutely not.
Well, okay, how old are you?
56.
56. All right.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, you look good for 56, baby. All right, I already told you smell good before we came here. All right, you look good. You smell good. All right, now.
Well, there you go.
There you go. So we're glad. We're glad about that. Is your mic on?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think your mic is on.
Let me turn that on so people can hear me.
There we go.
There we go.
No,
Yes.
okay, now we got to go. Okay. All right, good. All right, now your mic. Okay, so now your mic is on. Or the last 2 weeks, what did we do?
We celebrated my birthday.
Right, we celebrate your birthday.
We were in a car accident.
Oh man, yeah, we was in a car accident. Somebody hit us, hit us from behind. But praise be to God, we still here.
We still here. No damages to the outer layers of the car. So far, so good.
So
God
far,
is
so good. Yeah, God is good all the time. God is good. That's what church you there. Oh man, so yeah. The accident was kind of bad. It's not kind of bad. There's nothing done with the car. Nothing done to Sadie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if people don't know who Sadie is, that's Patsy's Cadillac,
That's right. That's the girl.
That's the girl, all right? All right, so, and another thing, we had a move.
Oh, my God. Muffin moved in, and guess what? She brought her parents
She
with
brought her parents, all right, yeah.
Muffin.
Thank you, Muffin, for bringing your parents down. I think she drove down herself.
Yes, she did. She did. She handled things.
She handled things, yeah.
That's my girl. That's my busybody.
Yeah, that's what I love, Muffin. I love her to death, amen. So, I'm here saying amen like we in church. That's we shouldn't be saying amen and stuff like that.
Amen means you agree.
Oh, okay.
If you agree, it's all right, but
Yeah, let's cut down on the amen stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
You okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Or, that brings up, us laughing tonight brought up our last session when we talked about humor in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
We got to have humor in marriage.
Have to.
We've been cracking up. I mean, these last 2 weeks, we've been cracking up more, since we talked about it. We've really been cracking up about crazy things,
Mm-hmm.
It just been laughing and laughing, so you got to have humor in marriage.
And when you're laughing, you know that you're happy.
Right.
You've come over the milestones, and you can still look back and laugh and joke with each other about, inside jokes. Inside jokes are the best because it's like, I know what you're thinking before you thinking it. You look at me and I'm laughing.
Laughing, yeah.
Just like that little spiel with James Brown. He's like, I look good, I smell
good. All right.
Know what he
we
said.
know what he get ready to say next.
So that's like, so it's the inside things, and it's also the connection.
All right, so we got some people online. We got Sparkle on there. Hey, Sparkle, how you doing?
Hey, Sparkle.
I got Ferg on here. Hey, Ferg, how you doing? All right, the Fergie Ferg. All right, and we got some more people that's online. Let's give we'd love to give you a shout out. So tell us where you're watching from. That'll be great. Give your name and where you're watching at. I know sometimes on your name may be not your name. So please Yeah.
Yeah, because if you say Pookie, then we're gonna be like, okay,
Okay, Pookie, we're gonna give Pookie a shout out. We don't know. Okay, hey, we got grandbaby. Our oldest grandbaby is on.
no.
Tyria is
Hey,
on. Hey,
Tara.
Tyria. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, Grandma, love you.
I'm telling you, I'm so proud of her. So proud. I'm so proud. Hey, thank you. All right, so we were ready to look at something right here. We started this thing, viral topics that we want to talk about. You saw this viral video, and we want to, for those who are watching. For those who will be listening later, you can hear the audio. But for those who are watching, you'll be able to see this video of this young man. I don't want to give it, but I think it's a good video. You love this video.
I love it. When I saw it, I was like, babe, you got to see this. You got to see this. It took him a week or so to really watch it, but it's really profound. So listen in. I think, and if you have some comments on it, chime in.
Yeah, chime in. And don't forget, later on, you'll be able to call in at 754-222-2219. All right, so here we go.
Talked to a married man today, and he shared something with me that was so amazing. He said, your wife, your lady, is a direct reflection of who you are as a leader. Be careful of what you do, what you don't do, what you say, what you don't say, because she is 110% a reflection of who you are as a leader. I said, thank you, sir. Point taken. He furthered to tell me that marriage is a perfect institution ran by two imperfect individuals that will forever be under construction. He said, why it's perfect? I said, he said, because God is involved. He said, who are the two imperfect individuals? I said, he said, you and your wife. He said, why would it forever be under construction? I said, he said, because you guys are not perfect. He said, allow God to intervene, pray, be patient, communicate, love each other through the pain and the suffering. He said, but don't never give up on each other and always be the best leader you can.
All right, we give a little hand clap for that. All right. So what made you like this so much? What made you like it so much?
Wow. I think the reason why I liked it so much is because the answers were so sincere as what the gentleman was giving him. And a lot of young men today don't know that portion of the marriage. They know the wedding, the reception, and I got my girl with me. They know that, but they don't know the in depth of it. And I thought that was just amazing as to, your wife being a reflection of who you are. So if she out and about looking a hot mess, that represents you.
Okay.
That is he okay with her looking like that? So that's how she look wherever she go. But if he wants to be represented well, then he's gonna treat her well. He's gonna treat her with class. He's gonna teach her the finer things in life. Teach her, what a lady's supposed to be. Because our parents, our mothers, they get in there and they teach us stuff. But other things, it's not on. You want to look good. You want to feel your best, and you want to be happy in the way that you feel. And you're a reflection of me.
Yes, vice
I get
versa.
compliments all the time.
Oh boy.
Are you married? Yes. Are you happy about that? Very happy. Well, he's a lucky man. I say he sure is. He's blessed.
That's right. I am a lucky man. I'm blessed.
But and I think because of your relationship with the Lord, you don't want to disappoint God, and you don't want the wrath of God. So you treat me with the utmost respect, and I'm your lady. You treat me like a lady, and I thought that was profound. That if we can get a man that respect us and is leading, then it's not hard for us to follow. A lot of women have a problem with the submissive part, but if a man lead without the demands of I'm the head of the house, if he lead as a team player, the leader of the team, then it's easy for a woman to submit and be on her best.
Yeah. I mean, I like you said, I totally agree. That's why we have to love our wives as Christ loved the church. And if we do what we do, then like you said, though, I don't think no wife has no problem being submissive. And what I got from it was the direct reflection.
Mm-hmm.
What I even try to tell our girls is that you not only represent yourself, but you represent the family.
Absolutely.
And it goes deeper than that. Sometimes you represent the family. You represent an African American woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a lot of stuff that you represent. Because it's like when something happens to on the news, the first thing they want to say, a black woman, you know, name whatever, you know, or a black man name whatever, and they start going through all that kind of stuff, you know, and so you find out that you represent more than you think you represent.
Absolutely.
And so when I see you looking good, I try my best to make you look, you know, not make you look good, but try to facilitate you, helping you look good, you know, with funds or with telling you that you're beautiful. And sometimes I believe that's a lot of times women, just like with children, you know, you have to tell your child that, hey, I'm proud of you. You know, that you know, tell, especially fathers tell their daughters, hey, you're a beautiful young girl, you know, because if you don't tell them, some other joker will, you know, and you don't want that other joker telling your daughters that he is beautiful, because once she gets hold of that joker telling her, she's going to start leaning towards that joker, you know, and, you know, I know if it's Nathan and watching, you know, that's my word, joker. I love to say that word. And so we have to tell our daughters, and the same thing goes with our wives. If we don't tell our wives that they beautiful, that they wonderfully made, that you look good, you like it, you know, whatever, some other person will, some other man will. And if that man keep telling her that and filling her head with that, she's going to be like, whoa, okay. You know, then all of a sudden, like you always tell me, I dress so you can, Eric, that you can keep your eyes on me.
Hello.
Right?
Right.
And that's where my eyes should always be. Now, it doesn't mean that because we've been out and because we're so confident in our marriage and our relationship that we can be out and you can see a fine guy and you say, well, that guy fine. That don't mean nothing to me. And I could go and say, well, that girl fine. It don't mean nothing. It's just that she's a beautiful girl. She's fine or whatever. But that doesn't stop out because we confident in our relationship.
Of course.
Right? Because I know who I got. I got me a piece on my hand.
You're a mess. Listen to I like what Ferg said down here. He said, I got to put my glasses on, y'all.
Put them glasses on.
He said, I told my wife that what goes on and what does not go on in our home is my fault. I had to step up and lead in every area and every person in the home. Kudos to you for that, bro. Kudos.
Yes, I'm going to give you, yeah.
Because a lot of people don't want to step up, and a lot of men don't want to step up, and they don't want to take the blame either.
Right.
But if you lead, and there's no fault, there's no blame. You know, you're gonna have bumps along the way, but you know, hey.
You know, I got something to say about that leader. You know, what I found out too is that, you know, everybody doesn't lead the same. And sometimes, I'm just saying, sometimes women are looking at other people and how they're leading their house and want the same thing for their house. But not every leader is the same.
This is true.
You know,
I totally
not every
agree
leader.
with that.
And you have to know your spouse and what they're capable of, what they're able to do. Because I learned that even in the military, and Fur can attest to that. Not every leader is. Some was yellers, some was, you know, talkers, some was, you know, come on, let's do it, you know, whatever. Now they knew what to do when times got rough. It seems like every leader would say, look, if we were getting ready to, like we saying like war games or whatever, that everybody would pitch in, and you know, the leader would. You would see like a 180, 360 degree. You ain't no yeller, but all of a sudden we playing water games. Everybody yelled because they understood what was going on. But not every leader is the same. So not every woman should expect her husband to be like somebody else. You know, we molded each other.
You know.
All right. Oh, look at Nikki say, "Mom, your makeup looks good." Yeah, hey, I'm telling you, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki Boo.
Don't start that, Nikki.
Love
Don't
you,
start
girl.
that. Don't start that up there in Tallahassee. But yeah, but
But check this out though. You know what? Remember we went through this whole thing about folding the towels?
yeah, okay.
And Ferg said, I just love him. Ferg said,
Lord.
well, what difference does it make if the towels a fold. Why? As long as if it's not done the way you want it done, it's still done.
Right.
So just because your leadership in your home is not like the leadership in AB home, don't mean that you're not getting the job done.
Oh boy, I got. I know we've been clapping all night, but I got to give you a clap on that. You hit the nail on the head. Everybody's comparing. I saw a little bit of Elder Collins' message, Miss Ellie, but I saw a little bit of his message when he said that we're competing in the church, and we should not be competing in the church. And what is happening is that marriages are competing against one another.
My God, I got
marriages are. He didn't say that, but I'm telling you that marriages are competing with each other. You know, they want to say, well, they got this and they got that. Why we don't have that? Why our marriage don't look like theirs? Why our marriage don't look like the television? Why our marriage is like that? No. You know your marriage and mold your own marriage to be the best that it can be. Boy, I feel like preaching.
Amen. We do have a topic.
We do have a topic. Oh man, okay.
Thank you, Lumpadump.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I have to represent you, girl.
All right, that's the juicy juice. But we can't wait to. I know we're not, but we can't wait to see her this week. I miss her so much. All right. So we're ready to get into the topic. All right. So thank you for showing that video tonight. All right. So tonight's topic is showing love when you're not really feeling it. Showing love when you're not really feeling it. And real talk, there will be times in your marriage where you're not really feeling loving your spouse, if we were to be real about it. All right, do you agree with that?
Yes.
You totally agree?
Yes.
All right. Excuse me. But, maybe this is sometimes, maybe you're angry with them. And you're still processing emotions around a conflict. Maybe that's one way. Maybe you're emotionally flooded, and maybe you had a horrible day, and you came home, and the person just said, "You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that," and you just like, no. You just need some space at that time. Maybe that's what's going on. But my mother told us, he said, you cannot be around a person 365 days, 7 days a week, 7 days a week and not get tired of them. You will get tired of them. It's just no matter if you're in the house together or in a separate room, sooner or later, you're going to get tired of them. That's why I thank God that she told us that, and we will not take separate vacations, but we'll just spend some time apart. Maybe just a weekend, Yeah. I was telling you earlier when we was preparing for this, you got Barack Obama's wife, Michelle. She's over in Italy, and people want something going on with their marriage. No, that don't mean nothing going on with their marriage. They just spending a little time together. I mean, it's apart. So when the absence, it makes the heart grow fonder. So you know what's going to happen when they get back together.
They're going to be happy.
Right? They're going to be happy. So I want to let everybody know tonight that it's normal to not feeling loving and affection toward your spouse 100% of the time.
I agree with that.
That is normal.
Yes.
So don't think that is not normal. I don't feel like I love him today. That is normal. But I tell you this, what'll happen is if you constantly take your anger and your frustration or other difficult emotions out on your spouse, eventually your marriage is going to blow up.
I agree with that.
100%. So you got to know that you can't take your anger and your frustrations or whatever you're going out. So that's why sometimes you just need some space. You just need some space, and the other person got to be able to oblige the space. They got to know your partner. You got to be able to look at your partner and say, you know what, she's getting fed up. Well, baby, just go for a ride.
Listen, I had enough of you. I'm out of here.
Yeah. And when you say that, the other spouse got to say, no, get on back here. We're gonna take it. No. Just let the spouse go.
Let them go.
Let them go. Have that space. A time away, because if not, it's gonna blow up, and you don't want that part to blow up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like sometimes you say things that you can't take back, no matter how much you apologize for it. The scar is already there. Now the scar can heal, but it's still a scar,
Yeah.
you know? So you have to be careful and you have to really choose your words wisely. And sometimes you just have to walk away. Somebody have to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And if both of us are already at 10,
Mm-hmm.
nothing's going to be solved anyway because we're going to yell and yell and yell. I can't hear you. You can't hear me because I'm trying to tell you and you trying to tell me. So what did we solve?
Right. We didn't solve nothing. Nothing.
So
Right.
it's important to be careful.
First, say keeping it real. Sometimes you just don't like them.
That's so true.
Oh, man. All right. So tonight we're gonna just talk about some 4 things that you can do when when you don't feel loving. There's some small things you can that you can do when you don't feel that way. So number one, all right. Number one is communicate kindly. All right. Communicate kindly. Before we get in there, all right, we got Malika. Hey, Malika, how you doing, Malika? All right, she said, but sometimes you give them space and they don't come back to resolve the issue. All right, we're gonna talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about that. That's part of one of the 4 things, and we're gonna talk about that. All right. So the first thing you want to do is communicate kindly, not just communicate, because that's what you just described. We communicating, but that ain't kindly.
Yeah, no.
That ain't gonna get nowhere. All right.
We ain't hearing each other at all.
No, not. We not hearing. We're not hearing that. So you have choices to respond when that thing happens. You can either fire back with some cutting words, right? You can either cut them or curse them out. You can whatever. You got a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You can either fire back or you can completely ignore them when they ask you how your day was. Because you're mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can stomp out of the room just like a child. You can either do that. But in that moment when you're feeling emotional tapped out, it's natural to fall back on some of these. Sometimes it's natural to fall back on these things because that's what you're doing. And that's what you learn to do. And I would say with marriages, you got to learn. You got to relearn how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that is how you saw your parents handle conflict, if that's how you've been handling conflict or your lives, when you take it into your marriage, you're going to do the same thing, right? You're going to stomp out, you're going to cut, you're going to curse, you're going to do all those kind of things. And so again, that's the difference like in me and you, right? I'm a calm person. Come on now, we real life. This marriage in real life, all right?
Eric is very calm, but I used to curse him out like nobody's business. Let me tell you something. If I was a sailor, I'd have got an award for it. I used to curse him out big time, but I realized something. I said, you know what? All of this cursing him out has got me absolutely nothing. Got me even more upset than what I was, and now I accomplished nothing in all of that cursing him out. I said, you know what? Let me just sit back and think about this thing. So I stopped that. And whenever I would get upset with him, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to take a drive.
Yep.
Yeah. I go take my drive. And when I come back, we need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the way you came off. And if it's something that we need to fix this, because if this happened again, I can't be in charge of how I'm going to handle it next time. 'Cause this time I walked away.
Yeah. So I mean, when you do things like that, what it does, it creates tension between you and your spouse. It creates distance between you and your spouse, and you don't want that.
No, because it's easy for the enemy to slip in a crack with somebody telling you all the wonderful things about yourself that you want to hear, that you feel like your spouse ain't telling you. Hey, Erica, hi, sweetheart, I love you.
Yes, it is. That's the oldest.
That's the oldest.
All right, proud of her. Yeah, we got a family on the line. Proud of you.
So you have to be careful how you walk away, how you handle that. It's the enemy is looking to seek whom he can devour. And marriages and families are number one on his list.
Yes. So what should you do instead? What should you do instead? Now, I would tell you this. All of these things that we're going to suggest to you tonight, it takes practice. You ain't going to get it right away. Like you said, you used to curse me out, and I on my side, you just didn't argue.
Which
Didn't
made
say
me madder.
it made you mad. And so I learned to voice, have a voice in it. You know what I mean? Because I just didn't. I was like, I don't feel like arguing, and I just no. But by me not arguing, that's what you wanted to hear, some kind of feedback.
Because
right?
that's what I was used to in
Right.
previous relationships. We cursed at each other. We fought with each other. So I was like, hey, this is my husband. I'm finna tell him off. That didn't work for me.
Right. And so I learned. Now I didn't curse.
And you didn't curse.
Oh.
You didn't curse back at me. You didn't even, I mean, I could tell when you do this whole thing like this, when you put your finger on your nose that you're a little upset. I knew that. I'm like, when you did that, I knew I had struck a nerve. But most of the time when I was cursing at you, you did none of that. I was like, he don't even care.
Yeah.
He don't care. He's not even communicating back. And then I
Right.
realized, what kind of communication am I doing here?
Right.
I wasn't giving you the opportunity. That's why I'm saying arguments, both at 10, we're not giving each other the opportunity to respond because we both too mad right now.
Man, yeah. And so that's why somebody has to just walk away and just say, okay, we'll come back to
I ain't
that.
mind walk away, leave you with the kids. You keep all your kids. I'll pay you child support. I'm out of here.
So it takes practice, but learn to communicate what you need is a calm way can make all the difference if you learn how to do it a calm way. So one, it might be saying, I just need a few minutes to calm down. That's one way you could do it. All right. Number two, I'll come back and I'll come find you when you're ready to talk again. That's you say it in a way that, hey, you know what, babe? All right, I hear you, but we're not getting anywhere. We just and sooner or later we're gonna say something that we don't like. So look, just let me go. I'll come back and we'll come talk. Or another one you can say, I'm not angry with you. I just had a hard day and I need some me time. I just need some me time, some wind down time. Not no 3-hour naps.
Wait a minute. Why you put my business on the street like that now? Said me time. I did some me time.
Yeah, that's your me time.
And I went and got in the car and I
drove.
I let the windows back, took the roof back.
And it started
raining. That's okay though, but I got the gist of it. I went to get some stuff out. Just sometimes I just want to talk to God and I don't want to be on my knees and I don't want to be in the closet. I want to be open and free and I just want to say, Lord, you gave me this, man.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll put it on. I'll give you some clap. So it's all right to have me time.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs some me time. You need some time away from your spouse, from your children, where you can have some me time.
Absolutely.
You need to have some me time because without me time, you can't take care of somebody else's time.
Exactly.
Right? So you need to have that me time. So if you're getting into that argument or whatever, you can communicate kindly. Say, you know what, babe, again, if I'm not angry with you, I just need to spend some me time. Let me get some me time away, and then we'll come back and we'll address this. Now, if you say that, you better come back and address it. All right? We're going to talk more about that, but you got to come back and address it. You just can't come back because you're going to spend some me time, and you already told your spouse, I'm coming back to address it, and you come back and you just start doing whatever. No, you need to come to address it, because if you don't address it, here it goes again. It starts it.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if you don't take care of that problem, the problem will become just plentiful.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't want that, right?
I don't want that.
We don't want it. So that's number one. We got to communicate kindly.
Mm-hmm. Got to communicate
kindly. Number two is offer a small physical gesture. Offer a small physical gesture. All right. So when you're feeling at times with your spouse, showing them physical affection usually isn't the first thing on your mind. It's not, but it can be. All right. But a small gesture, a gentle hand on the arm as you tell them you need space, maybe a squeeze of their shoulder before you leave the room, or reaching out to hold their hand, just to say, baby, it's good, let me touch your hand, baby. Come on, baby, give me your hand. Hey, other people watching, just a little touch. All right, baby, I'm gonna be back.
If I'm mad at you, I'm gonna be like this.
Hey, you see, It's gonna be all right. That's why I say it's a small physical gesture. It may not do something, but it may. So that's something you can do.
It's something, yeah. I mean, that's okay. But then sometimes when it's heated,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to be touched by your
Right.
significant other. You don't
Right.
want to be brushed up against. You just, you're angry, you're upset, and you don't want a small gesture.
Yeah.
You just want them to just be okay.
So I guess it's a different levels of where you
Before it
are.
gets to that point, maybe.
Before you can do that small. Like if it's just a small, like you come home, and I'm not saying you, but I'm saying you come home and you just you say, man, I just had a bad day. For me to come and hold your hand and say, baby, it's gonna be all right. We could talk about it later. I think that's cool.
Yeah, no,
right?
yeah, that's cool. But I was
yeah,
thinking of more or less like we in an argument.
But if we in
and
a high
escalated
argument,
it,
yeah,
we don't really want to touch each other because you might touch me on the shoulder and I might think of that as, hey, I got to.
You got to back up.
I don't know.
All right.
So you got to be. It depends on the individual and the relationship between the two of them and how they react with one another.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think.
Yeah, for tripping them is too much. You don't want to trip. You don't want to trip nobody. That doggone fur, boy, I tell you, yeah, we don't want to trip them. Yeah, we don't want to do that. All right. So number one, we communicate kindly.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we may offer a small physical gesture.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, we want to remain considerate. Considerate.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Don't hit below the belt.
Oh man,
It's so hard to come back from stuff like that. That's why your mama didn't want you. Stuff like that. Things that, you peeling off Band-Aids, off scars, and with stuff that they've imparted and trusted you with. And now you're throwing it back at them. Don't do that.
man, you say words. Man, I'm telling you,
do that.
you said it. You said it before. You cannot put words back. You cannot put toothpaste back in a toothpaste holder. And you cannot put your words back.
You can't take them back. You can apologize, and you can probably mean it sincerely, and ask for forgiveness, and the other person can forgive you. But when you put stuff out there that hurts, it's deep. It's hard to come back from that.
So I can't tell you. You come home and you said, you know what, this person, he likes me, or he shows affection. He hears me out, but you don't hear me out. So I can't say to you, well, go to them and let them hear you out.
Oh, yeah, that would not be a good thing for you.
I know what you were getting ready to say.
That would not
Anybody
be.
know you was getting ready? What did you get ready to say?
No. You cannot do that. Don't ever suggest to your significant other, well, if you're getting it out there, go out there and get it. Because guess what? You just giving them permission.
Yeah.
To go out there and do what they want to do. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't care. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
If they out there doing it and you find out they're doing it, and you determine what your worth is, and you walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently you're not worth his eye or her eye because they're out there looking at someone else. But don't never ever give them permission. If that's what you like, you can get it from somewhere else. Because guess what? Give me permission to go out there. Well, since I'm a Christian woman, but if I if I was still out there, Eric better not tell me that. He'd be out there looking around the corner. Y'all see Patsy.
Where she at? I'm telling you, you don't give it. It's made to say it's hard to recover from those harsh words once it leaves your mouth.
Absolutely.
It is. It's
Absolutely.
very hard.
Hey, Izzy.
Yeah, it's made to. It's very hard, man. And you could try your best. That's why, again, before you say something, just leave. Just leave. I would rather you leave the house and let the person be mad at you, than to say something that you can't take back. Because
right.
I don't know. Because no matter how much you apologize, no matter how many years has passed, it will come up again.
Yeah.
It will. That person will. You will leave that person scarred.
Mm-hmm.
You will leave that person scarred. And so what happened is that scar is there. And when you do something else, all you do is open up that scar, keep opening up that scar, keep opening up that scar. And you don't want to do that. You try you just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Always take a deep breath before you let something out and just really think about what you're about to say, and is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Oh man.
Relationships are hard. Marriages are hard. Relationships with anybody is hard. Brothers and sisters, mothers and daughters, aunties and nieces. Relationships are already hard. So you have to really be careful and choose your words wisely when you're speaking, to one
Yeah.
another, especially when it's a heated conversation.
Heated conversation. So
That's when all the stuff comes out. You know what they used to say about people when they get drunk? They can tell you the Bible better than the pastor can. When you get mad, boy, it comes from deep within,
from
and
deep.
you let it out.
you let it out. Yeah. So, what it does is, if you don't remain considerate, it can add even more distance, and tension between you and your spouse. When that is really the last thing that either you probably want. That is the last thing either you probably want. So this is a 2-part thing about remaining considerate. Part A, it take effort. It takes effort, but try to be intentional about maintaining a basic level of kindness and consideration towards your partner, even when you're in conflict. You got to do that. So what you might do, you might hold the door for them instead of letting it close in their face.
That would be appreciated.
That would be, because sometimes you get mad, and you're supposed to be the man and hold the door. You just walk through in there and just let it, just let it close in their face. You know how it is. I've been in places. I've been going through the doors, and you can tell a guy. I don't care if it's a guy, especially the older person. I like to hold the door. For them, just because they don't have to pull it or whatever like that. But you can tell those ones that is not considerate. That's just being considerate. Somebody
I hold the door for men all the time. They be like, "Whoa, no one's ever done this." For
you're
me
being
before.
it's just a level of consideration. You're walking,
You're going in.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Here's the door. So but when you mad at somebody, you just let the door slam in their face.
Yeah, that's rude.
You walking outside. Tell me y'all going to the car. You mad at them. You still got mad. You still mad at them. You just shut the door. Like, good Lord. So you got to do it with kindness. You got to try to do things with kindness to cool the things down. Listen to what they're saying instead of walking away mid sentence or visibly ignoring them. That is terrible. You don't want to do that. That right there shows them that you care about them less. You care about their thoughts. So if you want to dampen it down a little bit, listen. Don't walk away mid sentence. No, listen to them and don't ignore them.
Right.
So that's part of being considerate. It's a shame that we sometimes show more considerate to the people on our job than to our spouse.
Wow.
It gets worse. A lot of people show more consideration to the people at church than they do their spouse.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
And I don't see how people think that they are a quote unquote really true Christian by showing so much level to the pastor. They'd be showing more consideration to the pastor and the first lady do their spouse. They spend more time with them and being considerate of them. And so now the husband or the wife is looking at it and say, man, you won't even do that for me. You go to a pastor appreciation and you fix the pastor's food first, right? But when it comes down to your husband, you be like, well, you get it you get it how you get it. You go to the pastor appreciation and you go and you pull out the chair for the first lady. But then when your wife come around, you just push the chair, keep on moving. You got to pull it out for yourself. No. You got to be considerate because people are watching, especially if you have an unsaved spouse. Especially if you have an unsaved spouse, you got to be considerate to them before you be for the pastor because people are watching. Even your children are watching.
Everybody is watching.
Yeah. So. What was going on here? It looks like something is going on here. I see you reading here. Right? And what Ferg say is hard, but that's why we must let people know that marriage is for grown folks with tough skin. It's not always the fairy tale. And we're going to talk about that too. I understand what you're saying, but you shouldn't have to have tough skin. Just be respectful. Consider your spouse's feelings. I believe that. Now, I agree with that. You got to be considerate to one another.
Absolutely.
You got to be considerate because if you're not considerate, you are really messing with somebody's feelings, because again, no matter how long you're been married, no matter how long it is, they may have went through some things and they're working through some things, and you're not being considerate of another person's feeling. That means you don't care about them.
I agree with that. But also, I'm gonna let me piggyback off what Ferg said. I think in this context, what I'm getting from that is marriage is not a joke. Marriage is serious, and if you're not in it for the long run, then don't play with it, because it's not a joke. This is a person that you decide, and you stand before God and all these people where you go and spend all this
baby,
money.
calm down.
I'm sorry, I'm just excited
I'm
about
just saying,
it. Where you go and spend
know.
all this money to let these people know that I am joining together with this man and on a holy matrimony before God and all you people, and we're gonna stay together and we're gonna work it out and we're gonna do all that. If you're not in it for the long haul, don't waste your money and your time. And I mean, and I think that's what I gather from that. It's a work in progress. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to work at this thing if you want this thing. If Eric and I did not work at this, 31, we're going to be married 32 years in April. And it's been rough, y'all. We had some ups and downs.
There's some downs.
And there was some times when we were going to therapy and I was telling him, listen, I'm finna pack up my stuff and leave, dude. I'm about to bounce because he ain't making the connection with me. But I realized something, that if I want this to work, I gotta be able to bring my temper down. Cause like people always say, even this man, Eric is the cool brook running through the forest, and I'm the volcano in Hawaii. But I had to bring that volcano down, and he had to come up. You know, it wasn't more or less like I was putting myself on the back burner so I can submit to my husband and do all and be this meek person. I didn't have to do that because Eric respected me enough to meet me where I was so we can grow and build together.
Right.
So if you're not ready for marriage is serious business. And when you stand before God and you say God has joined you together, let no man put asunder, that means God put y'all together. And when God is ready for y'all to separate, God will separate you. So it's some serious business.
All right.
I'm just saying.
That's a good sermon right there. Oh, they better know. They better know. And I say that same thing to guys, because a lot of guys don't understand they're taking on a responsibility. You know, that's why I say to wives, don't take the responsibility away from the guy, because he's going to be held responsible. Just hey.
Ferg said in here he was happy to take on the responsibility to be the man to lead.
Yeah,
a lot of men ain't like that,
but they need to understand they're going to be held responsible when they meet in front of Jesus. Yeah, they're going to be held. If it's 8:15, but this is a good topic here. You know,
I hate to go.
Yeah, I hate to go. If y'all want us to go a little bit longer, I know we finished in an hour, so I think we got 15 minutes.
Okay.
All right. So let's get back on topic then.
Oh. Okay. I'm just I'm passionate about marriage.
Yeah, me too. So part B of this is one is recognizing that you've been inconsiderate and taking responsibility and apologizing if you need to.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And not just saying, I didn't mean it. No, babe, I apologize. I was above myself. I said some things that I shouldn't have said. Can can we work this out?
Yeah. I said it. And man, that's why, certain things you can apologize and it'll go over. Certain things, man, like we said before, you just don't want to say it, because as much as you apologize, and harsh words will break somebody. Growing up, sticks and stones may break our bones, words never. That is
a big old lie.
That's a big old lie, because words can kill somebody.
Words hurt more.
Yes. The Bible says death and life is in the power of your tongue.
Yes, it does.
So if the Bible says death and life, that means you a lot of people just think that verse is about you. You speaking death and life about yourself. You can speak death and life to somebody else. Right?
Absolutely.
You can kill somebody with your words, or you can speak life to them. That's why I choose to speak life to you. And you choose to speak life to me. I'm not speaking no death to you. I'm not speaking no death to my kids. I'm speaking life to them, right? So when I say you're beautiful, that's life. When I say you fine, that's life. When I say you smell good, that's life. You know, I'm not speaking no death. Yeah, you do smell
You really
good.
like this
I
perfume.
really
huh?
like that perfume, man.
Buy me another bottle.
All right, now, boy, birthdays is getting expensive around here.
Well, we got Christmas and Mother's Day and Valentine's
gee.
coming
Oh, Lord, have mercy. All right. So,
Absolutely.
well, what you absolutely about?
His message just said something that was apology with action behavior. Don't just apologize and go back to the same old thing. Apologize with an intent to change
Oh, man.
and make it better.
Got to give you and his mate for that on that. Because it's the same thing when we say, God, I'm sorry, right? You can tell the persons that are godly sorry or the ones that they sorry they got caught.
Yeah.
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 You know, the ones that are godly sorry, man, they if they make that mistake again, it like, man, it kills them. Like, God, oh God, I did it again, and it's just so sorry. You know, they're so sorrowful. But the ones that they're the ones that are sorry for that they got caught, they're gonna keep making it and keep making it and keep making it and keep making it
until they see you packing your bags and leaving, and then they're gonna be like, "Where you going?" Oh no, I had enough, because you can only push a person so far till when your self-worth start to kick in, and you be like, you know what, dude, as much as I like being married, I can't continue for you to bruise me and damage me. I'm a diamond in the rough.
That's right.
And if you keep scarring me, my value is going down. And if I keep standing here letting you scar me up, then what does that say about me? What am I showing to my children? What are my nieces seeing? They seeing that I'm just letting you walk all over me. I have to be a stronger woman than that. In the same way, you know, some women do men like that too.
That's a lot.
Some women, they just tear into their men. They don't build them up. They talk down to them.
You ain't nothing.
You ain't gonna never be nothing. I should have known before I pick you up from the corner tree.
Yeah. You're supposed to be the leader. Then look at you. You
ain't
just
leading
we ain't
nothing,
going there.
just tearing them down.
Tearing them down. You know, that's no. You can't do that. Those are harsh words. They are killers. You know. I mean, because to be true, be told, men has an ego. Men have an ego. I'm just telling you. You know, everybody. You know, man has an ego, and once you kill that ego, man, they're done. They're done. Yeah. So I'm not saying that you can't tell them that they're, you know, hey, you know what, let's do this, let's do that, you know, whatever. But don't tear a man down, because it's hard to build them back up. And even with a woman, don't tear a woman down, because like you say, she's a diamond and you don't want to scratch the diamond. All right. Absolutely. So, hey, so that is so good. As who's Lynn Cry Scenario, hey, you know, I'm not sure the name, but hey, she agrees. She says too many times we get an apology with unchanged actions. And we do. Absolutely. And then it makes us think, you know, here we go, apologizing again for this. And you're thinking, yeah, okay, babe. Yeah, I got you. I hear you. And it's not, it means nothing. Your apology means nothing if you're apologizing for the same thing over and over and over again. We don't want to hear it. We, you know, we can pretty much verbatim say the apology while you're, you know, in our head, we're marking it, we're saying it while you're giving it to us, because it's the same thing over and over and over again. Wow. Like, give me a break, you know? So, right. Yeah. All right. So, this is the one, Malika. This is for you. All right. All right. Malika. Hey. All right. So, the last one is follow through on initiating reconnection. Follow through. Don't say you're coming back to talk about something and you don't do it. Follow through it on it, because it's nothing like not follow throughing. You know, you have to follow through. You know, if you were to want to request some space to process or calm down, then initiating a reconnection when you come back. You know, hey, I'm back in. You know, hey, babe, I'm back in. You know, let's sit down and let's talk about this. Hey, I know I had a bad day or whatever, and let's reconnect. Let's get back. You must do that. You know. Now I'm gonna tell you. You know. I'm just gonna say, oh, you. Again, how we talk to our spouse is very, very important. we can't tell them what they're supposed to be doing. When you're supposed to be doing this and you're supposed to be doing that, you're supposed to be doing that. It's a way to talk to them and say, look, when you come back in, we need to really talk about this thing. Or matter of fact, if you ain't got to tell them nothing, just tell them to watch Marriage in Real Life, the podcast, right? At this time, and say, listen to what Eric and Boss Lady P is saying, just listen to what they're saying. They're not saying anything wrong or whatever. Just take their advice. When you come back in, you must reconnect and back to the whatever the consideration is, and just say, look, I left, so let's talk about this thing. I left mad, I'm calmed down, let's talk about it. Now, I'm not saying that you don't leave to my need space and you're gone for 2 days 3 days, and don't even let your spouse know what's going on, but you come back, you need to reconnect with while initiating a reconnection. What you reading over there?
Oh, I'm just reading some of the response. Someone said it's hard to trust words that don't carry weight anymore. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that, because like we said earlier, action. You got to have action behind that. I'm sorry. You just have to, because if not, it means nothing. Especially if you go and do the same thing again and again and again. The Lord loves us and He forgives us.
But we ain't God.
Over and over again. But your spouse is not God.
Not at all.
So if it's not going to carry weight, keep it to yourself. If you have a hard time really expressing yourself, sit down and write a letter.
Write a letter.
Eric and I used to write letters to each other
All
all
the
the time when we were upset with each other, because I know, I would get back into my cursing, and I didn't want to do that. So I would write him a letter and leave it where he could find it before he went PT, and he would write me a letter before he go off the road, and we communicated like that, because there would be times when we'd be upset. I would go almost 2 weeks without speaking to Eric in the house. Now, mind you, I'm not speaking to him. The kids see I'm not speaking to him. The kids see that we got short answers with each other. The children know something is going on. They don't know what's going on, but they know something's going on. So we have to really figure out how to do it. And if you can't really sit down and express yourself without the other person butting in, start writing.
Yeah.
Write them a letter.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you still love them, and they still love you. And hopefully you can get it resolved.
Yeah.
Or you can have them watch Marriage in Real Life.
Well, I'm watching Marriage in Real Life. Hey, look at here. Malika says, I hate when they leave and come back like it never happened and still unresolved. Yeah, that's what I say. It's something that you have to look within your spouse and say, you know what? That's not the way to do things. That's not how we're gonna do it.
We gotta finish this.
We must resolve this conflict.
Yeah.
We must resolve, because something is bothering you. You know what? I got to know that something is bothering you, so I can't just ignore what is bothering you. Whatever's bothering you, let's get it out. Because sometimes within consideration between spouses, what you may think is a big deal, may not be a big deal. What you think is little may be a big deal to somebody else.
Right.
So you got to be considerate of each other feeling. And you can't be say, oh, that ain't nothing. No, just I'll say, okay, all right, and try to work it out. But we got to we must do that. That's why we started what we started with. We say it is hard.
It's hard.
And it takes practice. That's what we said, right? That's what we said at the beginning. You say it's hard, but it takes practice. So a lot of this stuff, it takes practice, and keep practicing, leaving and coming back. Hey, come on, let's keep practicing and working it out. You may not get it right the first time.
Yeah.
But let's listen to Marriage in Real Life. All right. Watch it on YouTube. Listen to, on podcasts, whatever you listen to, Google, iHeart, whatever. Let's listen to them.
Okay, but that's an hour. After that hour is done, and I'm still mad at you. After I watch Marriage in Real Life, I'm still mad at you.
But still, what you couldn't tell your spouse, right? of, hey, this is what we need to do. At least from Marriage in Real Life, they heard it from somebody else.
Yeah.
And so just take advice. It's just like counseling. We can do a little bit of counseling. Just turn it on and say, let's watch this thing together and let's practice on how to handle our next conflict.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's a bunch of eyes going back and forth on here.
I don't know what these
guys
eyes
are awesome.
Oh.
I love it. I love it. Ferg, I love what you said. Well, if you love me, show me. If you sorry, show me. And I totally agree with that. That is awesome. Like action speaks louder than words.
Action speaks louder than words.
And
you know what? You got to be consistent in showing that you love them.
You have to.
You can't do it for, I'm so sorry, babe, but you can't do it for 2 or 3 days and think that's it.
You better say that.
You know what? You can't do it for 2 or 3 days. All right, I give you some. Don't be doing it for 2 or 3 days and say, "Oh yeah,
go back to your
old ways." No.
Ain't nobody trying to have that.
You gotta show your spouse that you love them, that you care about their emotions, that you care about them, and you gotta be consistent in your life. You gotta be consistent in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You must be. You got to be consistent. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of times that what kills a lot of marriages, inconsistency.
I agree with that.
Sometimes you tell me you consistent with the church, but you're not consistent in loving and doing this for me or whatever, right? You'll say that. Okay, look at that hand. I'm being real, right?
Okay.
You say you ain't consistent with the church, but you ain't consistent with this, and I have to sit back and say, let me be consistent, because the first and foremost, the ministry is to my family, not to the church.
Right. You're our pastor first before you're anybody else.
I'm your husband first.
Yeah, I like that part. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I was not happy when you said I'm going to be a pastor. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm going to be somebody's first lady. Eric, we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
God did not call me to that. But yeah, my husband first. But you're our leader.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, how can you lead the church if you can't lead your house?
Well,
that's my concept.
That's what the Bible says.
How you gonna do? How you gonna lead the Lord's house, but you can't lead our house?
That's the Bible. That's the Bible. You preaching.
I gotta look at it.
All right. So we got the things here going back and forth. It says, easy say Samson. Sometimes
Wait a minute. Let's read Samson's comment first.
Yeah, Samson. What he said?
He said, make it welcoming and be receptive to the feedback when they come back.
Okay. All right. And then
Easy. You can read her.
Izzy says, sometimes the person is not ready. It's not about them and how they receive. Just say sorry and let God do the healing. Walk away and go pray about it. Take that up with God as the leader. Okay. All right. Ferg says, amen, Izzy. Jesus. And then Sam says, indeed. All right. Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that, but can I just put a pin in here just a little bit?
Go ahead, put a pin in there.
Okay, so when the person comes back, you have to let them know that that's what you want. You can't expect for that person to read your mind and say to you, and give you that space. If you're not ready, say, I appreciate you coming back, but right now I'm not ready. And allow that person to go to God and do all the other stuff that you said, which is great. But you have to be receptive to receive, even if you have to step back and dismiss it, and that's okay.
All right. So you're saying when they come back, you got to be ready to when they
if you came back to me after we had a big blow up and you came back and you said, whatever the issue was, like let's say folding the towels, and you come and you're like, babe, I know you told me time and time again, skirt, I don't want to talk about that right now. Thank you for coming back. I need a moment. Just, I appreciate this. Allow me time to regroup, process. Because women, we have to process stuff that y'all.
And men do too.
We be thinking like nothing hurts us more than for our significant other to think that we're stupid.
Okay.
And sometimes when you guys come off a certain way, it take us back like this.
Well, you better not say it.
This joker.
Yeah, say joker.
This joker think I'm stupid, and so now that's when women come in the pride of saying, they don't want to submit because you think that they're beneath you.
Okay.
We want to be equal. And sometimes in an argument, when they get heated and words are said and things are put out there that you can't take back, and even sometimes it's not as bad.
Right.
Let me put this back on. It's not as bad, but we need time to process. So if that person is, say for instance, you gone for 30 minutes, maybe next time go for an hour. Really give time to process it. So when you come back, you can address it head on, or hey, we're gonna talk about this tomorrow.
Right. It all goes back to practice.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is a practicing it, practicing leaving and coming back, and whatever. And it all depends on what the size of the argument is and all that kind of stuff. But you got to practice it. You got to practice coming back, talking about the situation or saying whatever. But reality and truth and this, you got to take care of it.
Yep, absolutely.
And at those times, again, that's because we're talking about, the love part. You may not feel loved, you may not be, feeling liked, but that's why you got to come back and reconnect to show your spouse that I love you, baby. Even though I stepped out, that don't mean I didn't love you, and when you come back, yeah, I love you, baby. Let's get this, because again, the enemy wants to break us up.
Absolutely.
The enemy wants to break us up. And I would tell you, I would go farther to say that there's a lot of people that are watching us tonight. There are a lot of people where people have said and they've spoken against your marriage. Because not only the enemy is out to destroy your marriage, but people are laughing at, your heartbreaks. They're laughing at your arguments because they want you to break up. I would honestly say in real life, there's some people that want us to break up because they want you.
But guess what?
With your sexy self.
I'll be sneaking over to your house, baby. They'll be like, what is it about him? I'll be coming right on over.
Oh,
hey, let me in. Open the window, let me in.
All right, so when you're not feeling love towards your spouse, due to conflict or other circumstances, it's normal for, negative emotions to win out. But what it is try to keep it down, because if it happens too often, it can take a toll on your relationship.
Absolutely.
It can take a toll on that. So what you want to do, you want to work on being more intentional and showing love in small ways, not big ways. Not, she mad at me, I'm going to go and buy her a diamond ring, or buy her a car. Show her in small gestures, right?
Yeah.
When I show you I love you in small things, like I buy you a Reese's cup, and I send you a text, I love you. Like even Malika said, when in disagreements, they text each other, or do just small gestures, right? Instead of a big gesture, that really, really, I think that really shows you love you, just like when you do small things for me, my baby love me. That's why words are very important.
Yeah, I can remember being out upset with you at the mall, and I'm like, "Ooh, Erica liked this shirt." It's like I totally forgot that I was mad at him because I think this will look nice on him. So it's a work in process and progress. Is it progress? A work in progress or a work in process?
One of those words.
And so. It takes time, and it is not going to happen overnight.
Right.
Because trust and believe, we didn't happen overnight, and we're still working on our marriage, and we learn things about each other every single day, and we grow. But one thing we have learned is that what God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
Let no man.
I say it all the time, not me, not him, no man, nobody outside, nobody from the inside, no relative, nobody. When God is ready for Eric and I to dissolve, it'll be God. It'll be on God's time. And I just hope there's no time.
He said no time, sir.
I don't want to lose you, baby.
All right. I don't want to lose you either, baby. All right. So that's our topic for tonight.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to have a little time for if somebody wants to call in, they can call in. And we'll love at the number right there is on the screen at 754 222-2219. And they just want to share their thoughts. What you got over there? What you laughing about over there?
I'm just looking at the comments. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much
Thanks.
for commenting and giving us a little bit more to talk about. But
Yes.
yeah, so it's serious, and I'm grateful. I think grateful has been my word for the last 3 years.
Man,
It's just that
I
I'm
love
just
that
so
song.
grateful for just the opportunity to just share some nuggets, because I'm no professor. I'm no marriage counselor, but I do have experience, and I just want to share it, as much as I can, especially for when I talk about marriage. I'm so serious about that. It's just it's too serious to be playing with it.
Yeah.
It's too serious. So yeah. So I'm grateful
This
for the
call is being
topics.
recorded.
We got a call.
Yeah, we got a call. We got a caller in. We got a call in. All right, here we go. All right. Harold Sampson, how you doing? Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey,
We
Harold.
got Ferg on the line. Hold on, Ferg. We'll be coming with you next. All right. Talk to us, Sampson.
First of all, I want to say both of y'all look beautiful. Y'all look
Thank
good
you.
up
Thank you.
there. And I like Sister Patsy. I like how you put it when you said when they come back to say, thanks for coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks for coming back.
You can diffuse the tension right away just by being, like you say, like showing kindness, being kind. I think you guys say being kind was the first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Communicate kindly. Yeah.
Communicate kindly. That right there was like a great example of communicating kindly when they come back, because that'll diffuse it right away, right when you say, hey, thanks for coming back, but I'm not ready right now. Like
Yeah. And give you
that
the
right there
opportunity.
stuck
Yeah.
out to me,
Oh,
and I appreciate y'all.
All right, man.
oh,
We appreciate
thank
you, man. We appreciate you. We love you.
All right, love y'all.
All right, man.
Love you.
Blessings.
Bye.
All right. All right. We have Ferg on the line all the way from Jacksonville, North Carolina. North Kakalaki. How you doing, Ferg?
Hey, I'm doing well, y'all. Hey, thanks for having me on, and hi to everybody else. Quickly, I got 3 quick points
Okay.
if I have enough time.
Yes.
Number one,
Go ahead.
I think it's important for you all when Eric said do a little gesture when you're mad if you're about to leave, and you like touch the arm or something like that. In a serious argument, everybody still needs and wants hope.
Mm-hmm.
That little gesture, that little touch of the hand will let everybody know, or at least, let's say if I touched her hand, that in this argument, I know we mad at each other, but I'm not giving up on us. She, on the other hand, is going to receive, yeah, he's mad, I'm mad, but this is not the end of us. So that little gesture really keeps hope going in the relationship.
Yes.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, number 2, why you start talking and forgetting the number 2 is? I'm going to skip to number 3. This is a little funny story about us. When Eric was talking about how, Patsy was talking about how sometimes she's the fireball and Eric is all calm while they're arguing. Funny story I had was we was in California before we got to Okinawa, and Donna was on fire, and I was I was vacuuming, and she was mad at me, and Dante was on the computer, and she started throwing stuff at me, through a soda, and every time she threw something, I would either catch it or I would pick up. I wouldn't even got a mop to start cleaning up the soda that she had just threw. And she said the more she threw stuff, that I would laugh or I would just keep cleaning up. And she said the more he cleaned up, the madder I got. So it's understand that we all have different coping mechanisms, right? Oh, I know what it was. I know the second thing was Eric said sometimes we tell our spouses or our significant other what they supposed to be doing.
Right.
But I want to move it over to what we can't tell them. What we can't tell them is how to feel about a certain situation.
Ooh.
Like if I hurt you, I can't tell you that you're not supposed to be hurting because of that little thing. I can't. Or if you come back from being upset and I'm not ready to talk, you can't tell me how to feel.
Wow.
So you have to understand that every person has the right to feel
the way they
feel.
Yes, sir.
God,
I got to
I
give you,
like
got to give you applause on that one,
for
Ferg. Got to give you applause on that.
That's all right.
Oh, I know what it was. Especially for the new couples, right? 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. All right. we all learning, like you said, you practice. We learning how to do better.
Mm-hmm.
We was in Hawaii and was leaving church. One of my choir members say, "Have a good day, Brother Ferguson." And I said, "Hey, have a good day." Donna said, "Did you see that?" I said, "What?" She acted like she didn't see me.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And I didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it. But I needed to establish that don't act like you don't see my missus.
That's
This
right.
is the most important person on the planet to me.
Hello.
Gee. All right.
So I
Now,
learned from then on, because if I allowed her to only speak to me and not my missus, then my missus become insignificant in her life, the other person's life, and she needs to know that this is a package.
Right.
Right.
If we're gonna be friends, it's a package.
You stepping up. It's showing everybody else that, hey, this the one. This is us, not just me. So, but I had to learn that. So young couples, everybody's not going to know what to do and how to do things right in the beginning. It takes time.
Right.
All right. So with that, I appreciate you all. I'm gonna get off the phone because I know y'all might have to pay a bill if I keep talking.
That's right. I'm gonna come in and get some of that Ferg money.
Oh, they say Ferg out here dropping gems.
Yeah, Ferg, they giving it to you. I'm gonna have to give you applause on that, Ferg. They
all right there.
All
That's
right.
my brother.
That's my brother. All right, man. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
Later.
All right.
Later.
All right.
All right.
But that was good.
That was awesome.
Oh man, well I tell you, we got about one more minute for somebody to call. One more minute. If somebody wants to call, we got about one more minute. If not, we gotta get out of here. We got to get out of here.
It's always so wonderful though. I was like, we started out, but this is a very, very good topic.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard to love through the pain.
Oh man, it's hard to love through it, but hey, thanks be to God that He shows us grace, and we got to show each other grace.
Yes, we do.
Right. We can't expect the grace from God, or we can't expect the grace from the person, and we don't give grace.
Absolutely.
The Bible says, "Whatever man soweth, that shall he also reap." Now you got the prosperity preachers that say that's about money. But if you put out, if you don't put out grace, you're not going to get grace back. If you put out anger, you're going to get anger back. And you keep putting out this stuff, that's what you're going to get back. Whatever you sow, that's what a man shall reap. All right. Well, don't look like there's nobody else is calling in. We got any comments on there that we need to read?
Let me see.
All right, they gave Ferg his props. They gave Ferg his props.
That's all right there.
We hope tonight, because I know even my daughters, they're not married. We hope that you got something out of tonight.
We're praying for y'all.
So we hope that somebody watched this and listened to this, on every podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts. We on Spotify. We on iHeart. So if you want to need a listen again to it, or again, like we were saying, if you're having problems, hey, look, let's go and listen to this podcast. Let's go and watch this podcast on Real Life TV 1. Let's go and watch this thing again and sit down and how to handle this conflict, or how to when I don't feel lovely or you feel like loving you, I need to go and watch this because, so we thank God for each and every person who is watching with us tonight. We thank you all. We really, really, really thank you all. All right. And now don't forget this. We don't want the people, please make sure we had 10, went to 13, went to 14, 15 people. Please go back and like this video.
Yeah,
like it and share. Like it, please. Like and share. That's how we can get the word out on your when you go to your podcast. Like it and share and leave a review, and leave a comment. even on our video on YouTube, leave a comment, that whatever you want to say, just put those, comments down. And we thank you for watching with us tonight, and we want to say good night.
Good night. Thank you so much. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
If you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope you enjoyed this new episode. And if you did, please rate and review our show on your favorite podcast channel. Please share this episode with others who may be interested in this topic. And also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Get in touch in the comments or on any social media networks at Marriage in Real Life Podcast. We'll see you in 2 weeks for our next episode.